Beautiful Wednesday morning. It's another day to tell our Creator thank you. Today is the 15th day in the month of May. I said something on Monday that once we reach 15th, know that the month is gone. You'd have been waiting. When did we start May? Today is 15th already. That's to tell you there is no time. Keep moving. Stop procrastination. We are almost getting to the half of the year, and you know what that means. Okay, if you are joining us for the first time, this is Family and Values on Galaxy Television. We are streaming across all our social media platforms. Please download the Galaxy mobile app so that you can watch us on the go. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please turn on your notification button on your Facebook and on your X so that when you see these beautiful faces, you know it's time for Family and Values. Thank you for being our guest on the show this morning. It promises to be very, very educative and informative show today. My name still remains Joy Abu, and like you know, I'm not always in the studio alone. I have the elegance, I'm trying to put all my words together, elegance, beautiful, wonderful partner, Mama Gen Z. I call her Mama Gen Z, but you people call her Olori. Good morning. You look all beautiful this morning. You know when you came and I said, are you going somewhere? Is there something you're not telling me? You have a date? Are you going on a date?
Maybe
well, let's leave that.
Maybe you're taking me out because you owe me that outing.
Yes, I do.
Okay, so even if you don't believe yourself worthy, treat yourself worthy. Even though you don't believe yourself worthy of a particular thing, just like I'm saying, maybe she's owing me a treat. Treat yourself worthy, because you deserve the best, and you have so many good things surrounding you that you need to fulfill, and you must be part of. Whether in someone's life, I was coming this morning, a young lady just decided to just say, "Don't worry, I have settled your teeth." I say, "Wow." I said, "Why?" And I just kept quiet. I said, "Why did I say why? Is it that because she's younger or whatever?" But I just prayed for her. So I'm telling you, good morning this morning. Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, Lagos. A beautiful morning to everyone, irrespective of wherever time zone. By the time you're watching this, okay, we want to believe that all is well with you, with your home, with your family. And please, as you go out today, just believe in yourself. Believe that something good is out there for you. Don't count yourself as nothing. Don't see yourself as a worthless person. A little thing like this may just be what you need to contribute to someone's life and put a smile on that face. So please do well as you continue with us.
Very true. Do well as you continue with us. This morning, still in the mood of kindness, I was coming to work and I saw this student. I think maybe he was kind of lost, wanted to cross the road, and neighborhood officers just held him by the hand, put him and started talking to him. And then they spoke for like 2-3 minutes, took him, got him a soft drink, gave it to him, walked him to cross the road, and the student was like, wow, that kind of person. And you know, wow, I was like, I was almost looking at him to know his name, you know, like, this such, it actually melted my heart. Everybody in the car was like, so this is nice. We still have these people that are still kind. And you know, probably was just trying to talk to the boy that what is it that you just want to walk into the road without looking? So, but that's just it. So I want to send a birthday shout out to my goddaughter. She's 4 today. Yes.
Wow.
Who else?
Happy
birthday. 4 years. I remember when the mom carried her. I said, this pregnancy is you that will carry. I said, don't worry. My plantain finished. Happy birthday. She's 4 years. So happy birthday to her. I pray for long life and God's protection over her life.
Amen.
Yeah. Okay. So let's start the business of the day. I love the way you're looking, but let me keep that. Maybe there's something you're not telling me. After the show, you talk to me. Talk one-on-one.
Okay. It's going to be a fun day. So
let's wrap it up. Okay, so let's go on a quick mini feature so you have an idea into today's topic, because our guest is handsomely seated to deliver this topic. See you on the other side. If you're just joining us, you've not missed anything because we are about to go into the conversation of today. Is actually a very serious topic, and this is what is happening in most homes. So we decided to bring it up for conversation and to have a proper knowledge of what it is. We are talking about how to deal with a bipolar partner. A lot of people don't know that this thing exists, and then you see somebody behaving somehow, you're beginning to ask questions. So it's important you pay attention to this conversation we're going to be having in the studio so that you have an enlightenment of what is happening around you. And we have a very wonderful, handsome young man in the studio. He is not new to family and values. For a while, you know, he decided to show us pepper and went on vacation, but he's back to join us. We have Godwin Robinson in the studio. Good morning.
Good morning.
Always coming with wife.
Thank you.
For those of you who
doing?
might be meeting him for the
good.
first time or seeing him on your screen for the first time, he is the CEO of Rainbed Nigerian Limited. He's an entrepreneur. He's also a business strategist and a public analyst. Yes, good to have you.
Thank you.
Welcome back
My
once
pleasure.
again.
You are looking refreshed.
Like so refreshed. We need this break, Abi. We should go on vacation. Me and Olori.
It's
Abi.
available for everybody.
Carry us
It's
now. Let's
available.
go.
Yes.
It's available.
The tickets are not expensive.
They are not
Oh.
expensive. Coming from you,
I
it's not a
just see this
problem.
one that you even said it.
Yeah, it's
And
not-
being a media person
I know
also,
it's like
you could get a lot of
for us.
discounts and
Really?
yes.
Okay,
Or you
so
better it.
we are discussing with how to deal with bipolar partners.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people out there don't even know what bipolar is all about. So, can you tell us what is bipolar?
Okay, bipolar is a mental illness or a mental disorder.
Okay.
When you say mental disorder, it's just it's not supposed to be stigmatized the way the society does
yeah.
most mental disorder. A mental disorder is just like every other ailment. Somebody can actually live with it and fulfill his life and still achieve what he wants to achieve. Formerly, it was called depressive mania. It's a mood swing. It's something that makes functioning difficult, moves somebody's mood from the other extreme to the other extreme. It could be very, very happy now, and then the next thing is that wow, it goes down. It's actually something that you have to see from the light of not being in charge of your emotions, not being in charge of your mental capacity and mental performances. So that's what it is, and it's all over the place. We have like 2% of the world population suffering from this particular
Wow.
challenge. Yes, but and then when you talk about this disorder in the society where we are today, I'm sure you must have had it on the streets. Somebody will tell you he's mad. They even, when people are even hot and angry, they will exchange, you're a madman. There is nothing like madness. No, in the psychiatric, there's nothing like madness. But there is something that like mental health, mental ailments. Yes. So it's there, and it's not supposed to be the way people are looking at it, and that's what it is.
Okay, so what is your advice to someone who has a bipolar partner, or how do you even discover you have a partner who has this traits of being a bipolar?
Okay, I think you are staying within the bracket of the family again, because it's family and values. First of all, I want to appreciate you guys for what you're doing. Believe me, you're solving the societal problem. Yeah, because they say when a problem is discussed or is shared, it's half solved.
It's half solved.
So I'm sure some people who are listening to us right now will be able to have a handle to what they are going through, and they don't know. Bipolar patients could be your wife, could be your husband, could be your children.
Your mother or your father?
It could be even a mother or a father. This particular ailment starts exhibiting its traits and symptoms from the age of 19, 20, thereabouts. And it could be triggered by trauma, could be triggered by stress. It's always being triggered by a particular force
Okay.
People who have gone through one trauma or the other, through one challenge or the other, it could trigger it. And how you can also understand, like some people today, we know some people among our communities who have lost their marriages, and the man will just get up and say, I don't know, she just suddenly changed. Or the woman will say, he just suddenly changed. He became a different person from who I used to know. Sometimes it is actually something as simple as bipolar.
Wow.
That's it.
Wow.
Very simple.
Wow.
But how? Because of the stigma on mental ailments and mental disorder, most people will never go to the experts to be diagnosed of what their problem is. The common thing they will tell you is that I fall into mood swing from now and then, and also I am suffering from depression. And because of the Nigerian society or because of the African society, they rush on self-medication, which instead of helping this person worsens the issue. Because what do they take? Depression drugs. They start taking Valium, they start taking one thing or the other. Sometimes even before they have to go to the hospital for diagnosis, where they could actually be properly diagnosed to tell them what the problem is, the case has become worse. The person has actually gotten maybe to suicide mode, because that's one thing that is very common with them. It's on record that almost 50% of bipolar patients actually commit suicide. They feel like taking their lives. They are not happy with themselves because it's a burden. It's a burden in the mind of the individual. It's a burden. It's something that takes over. Okay, let me just put it this way. It's like when we had all those phones, that at the time you say your phone is hanging. The phone start malfunctioning, taking charge on its own, not taking command from you. You're pressing something, it's not accepting it. It wants to go its own way. It could even start deleting some things that you have. That's how bipolar is. When it takes hold of the individual, it wants to be in control. But because we are coming from a religious society, science has helped us so much in this part of Africa, but we still need more penetration of science. We can actually get to that level where you know that this is not what people call it, and the person can be helped. So it's through diagnosis.
Okay,
talking
now,
to experts.
I'm going to ask two questions in one. Number one, what's the difference between bipolar and mental illness? Can we actually draw the line to say, okay, this one has not gotten to where you say, okay, you need to go to the psychiatrist or to be admitted? And then secondly, you did mention something about the society. Do you think that because of the religious belief in Nigeria, it has made a lot of people not accept and own up to this thing, like, I have this problem? Because just as you're talking, I've now remembered someone who is suffering from this thing that we thought it was depression, but now I'm realizing that, okay, this is what this person is going to. So do you think those two, I wanted to...
Bipolar is mental illness.
Okay, so there's no difference between...
No, that's why I told you there are so many mental illness out there. It's not one, it's not two.
Okay.
But the society or the environment or the people that we are with tend to only accept mental illness when the person when the person is on the street, but it's not so. So sometimes ago I was driving on the way and I saw somebody. I saw a woman, an aged woman, walking on the highway. And I told my children, that woman is having dementia. And they were like, how do you know, Daddy? I said, she is. We were headed to the church. And on our way back from the church, I told them, if I see that woman, I'm going to pick her up and I will solve her case. And we eventually saw her by the gutter. I said, highway, by the gutter. And I went and I reversed and I came back because she was on the other part of the road. And I got to her and I said, Mama, how are you? She started talking. She could hardly coordinate herself. Now, any bipolar patient or somebody who is suffering from this need love, absolute love. And at the end of the day, it was proven Mama had dementia. She left the house 2 weeks ago and entered the street. Her children and her grandchildren never knew where she was. Wow. And she was just walking. She was beaten by rain and she has gone through a lot. The next thing the society will tell you is that she's either a witch or she's mad or whatever. The same thing with bipolar. But theirs is not as worse as that. Theirs is that you begin to hate yourself, you're depressed, you don't like life, you don't even like your partner. You think whatever is responsible, you think it's normal to think about suicide. But it's not. It's just bipolar.
Wow.
It's just bipolar.
Just
That's
bipolar.
It's mental illness. It's just one of those mental illness and can be managed and can be handled.
I remember, I think I have one or two around me, and it took a while before I could really understand that, wow, this is bipolar. I watched the movies, I tried to Google, I sat down, I looked at experiences I've had with this same person. You're talking about an old man, you've had that you look inside, you say, I want to go out, oh, yeah, no. So it's like you are trapping her.
Yes.
And she wants to walk around. Yes. So in other words, most of these old people sometimes you see on the road, you understand, that go all out. Some of them wealthy children, but they will not know when they will sneak out with all the security. By the time they come back home, you see bruises all over them because some people, maybe they've fallen down somewhere and all that. How do you now love them? How do you bring them back? How do you understand that treatment or that process they go through? You understand, for you to, do you need to actually get a psychologist to walk through them? What if you cannot afford one, or you are from a remote area that they believe, just like you said, many think they are rich.
They are rich.
This particular woman, they have, almost want to lynch her. So how do we love them? How do we walk this process with them?
You see, love cannot exist without empathy. And love, in very short form, is supporting, is supportive, is supporting each other.
Yeah, very true.
That's what love is all about. But it's also difficult to be able to support somebody you don't know what the problem is. And you don't even know, because sometimes in the community or in the society or in the families, somebody is going through this experience. And then the next thing, they will start shouting at the person, they'll start making noise, start making things uncomfortable for the person and all that. Some will even say they have to take the person to the church or to one of the religious centers or to the mosque. And then you meet one ignorant clergy who, yes, is a clergy, he understands spiritual things, but it has not gotten to that point. Then the next thing is that they'll take chain and handcuff the person and all that. And this person is not on this mood 24 hours. That's the funny thing.
They'll come back.
It's a mood swing. When I say swing, it's not steady.
Stable.
It's not stable. So what if the person comes back and then sees this?
So it
triggers it again. Yes.
Well,
Because the cause of this particular disorder is actually two. Scientists have been able to trace it to two. One is the environment. When I talk about environment, I talk about relationship, I talk about where people are, I talk about experience, I talk about depression, I talk about abuse. Then another one is genetic.
Okay.
So so you need to first of all understand that, look, this is not normal, and then you seek for the help of a professional who's a psychiatrist. And let me say this again. I have a friend who had an issue with one of the agencies, and one of the condition for managing an offender is you'll be taken to a psychiatric ward to evaluate your mental state, to know if you are really normal, to have done what you did. And when he got there, he came out, he shouted to me. He said, bro, I say, how far? He said, be like I the mad small. I said, what happened? He said, on the process of evaluation, they just discovered that I'm not normal. And I could see the bracket that I was on the extreme. I knew he had an issue like that. He could fly off the handle, he could go high, he could come down any moment. He could break things. And he's living with a woman who is the wife. But the woman has come to that level where she has to accept him the way, but he has never bothered to go and see a psychiatric until that issue came up. So you need to know what the person has. Today, again, let me say this. Some people have the problem of every little thing they jump into Google. And Google may not be able to give you all.
all you that you need.
It might even give you something that could trigger whatever. Any person who is having this issue needs love. Pure, undiluted love. Needs support. Need assurance. Some partners or some spouses have to dump their partners because of this. Oh, she's always falling into mood. And sometimes again, you see some religious that will tell you, once you are having mood swing, you're possessed. That's rubbish. It's not true. It's not true. We're all carrying baggages of experiences and different experiences, and you don't know where I'm coming from. And the memory of these things, I had a friend who was able to manage somebody in the clinic, a loved one, and then lost the person after how many months? Almost a year after going through that. And for many years, he avoided the hospital. There is nothing you will tell him to take him to the hospital. He avoided it. Why? Because of what it triggers in him. And he has to go through that process until he got healed. But he did that all alone because it was a spouse that he loved. He lost. So what I'm trying to say is that you need to understand and show this person love. People going through depression. Depression is one of the most common symptom of this particular issue. Second one is the mood swing. And let me tell you, it's a lifetime issue. Oh yes. So it needs a lifetime care. And you can actually love the person, and the person can still be so sweet and so wonderful. You just know that this is what the person is going through. Let me say this also. For some people who are married, and all of a sudden, after some few years, one will discover that this one has a sugar problem. And it's a genetic thing, not because of what the person was reckless with meals and lifestyle and all that, but it's genetic, it's coming from the family. Would you now dump this person? That's why I love one cliché they normally say during wedding. And what's that?
For better, for worse.
For better, for worse.
All right, let's hold it there. For better, for worse. We are still discussing how to handle partners that have bipolar. Let's go on a word of marble and possibly hear from our viewers what they have to say concerning this topic. We'll see you on the other side. Stay tuned.
Okay, you can just leave them alone for some time. Then, as they are switching mood, for sometimes they will not come back to themselves, and then you go on with them.
Yes, not just somebody, couple of people with different personalities in one version. Abi, like an ambivert, for example. An ambivert na person be say you go fit just see anana in the jolly like they were crowd day. The next day, he won't do only, you understand? Small thing, they upset those kind of people. Somebody like that is mentally challenged, you understand? Maybe due to weather condition, you get cold now feed affect them, psychological trauma, all those kind of things. You go see them this minute, they happy. The next minute, they don't get joy. What do you like? When follow you like yesterday? That same thing. Today, you like them, you no follow you like them. Shebi they see them, but you can't be like say their village people they follow inside there. So but don't worry yourself. Now ambivert, you understand? Just like the introvert, extrovert, and the ambivert. The introvert what we know now. First maybe say in like they isolated, in no like crowd. The extroverts now we now ambivert. The extroverts now those ones feel like noise. But you see this person now with two personalities now ambivert. In laugh today, tomorrow in front face. No check on like pride, na self-esteem. In the condition itself inside there. So
yes, I have actually. I met this lady some time back, and she was this person that could actually have this swing, this change in mood at any point in time. So I encountered such person, but I was able to at some point manage those should I say excesses or her character or behavior. I tend to want to overlook, and then you don't even know what might actually cause them to begin to develop their temperaments or want to show it, you understand. But you just have to be careful maybe with your choice of words and your actions and some other things like that, and all try avoiding those things that might want to trigger those stuffs. So actually I have, and I was able to pass through that stage, I would say challenge as well, and it was a success. So they are also cool people, like they have their best sides and their worst sides as well. So
yes, it's through prayers. As a child of God, we believe in prayers. We like me, I advise the person to pray, and then I gave her so the way she will go about it, of which she did, and it worked out fine. And at the end of the day, we all give praise to God for what He has done and what He will continue to do.
E dey easy for me now because me sef na ambivert. I dey understand wetin the person dey pass through. You get? Only on the face the four corners of im room dey you understand, but so therefore you no go fit to pressure those kind of people because nothing dey vex dem. The least joy they need to talk. No. Close, you don't put bottle for your head. 2 seconds. So if they laugh, you follow them laugh. If they frown face, you observe their distance. You get why? You understand? I don't to break bottle new. I know what I tell you.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, you have what been watching Family and Values on Galaxy Television. We are still streaming across all our social media platforms, and we have been discussing a very sensitive and emotional topic: how to deal or handle bipolar partners. And our guest is still much in the studio. Okay, Godwin, before we went on that break, we're talking ways. Lori was asking how you can love them and all that, but now I want to ask, how can we handle them? Do we handle them physically or emotionally? What ways can we actually handle them? It's very easy to say. Yesterday we talked about narcissistic parenting, and to an extent we'll say, oh, it's very easy to say, do this, do this, do this. Except you're in that shoes, then you would understand. So for someone out there watching who has a friend, a brother, somebody in the family, aside being a partner, maybe this person is in a relationship planning to marry. I just remember someone that ended up a relationship just because of this thing. He said, no, she's always going overboard. I don't want to, So how do we handle them? Do we handle them emotionally, physically? What ways can we handle them to help them through?
Okay. First of all, if you decide that maybe you already have them as your spouse, your partner, your relation and all that, first of all, you should understand, because the truth is this: they avoid seeing professionals. They don't like it because they don't want to see that doctor's report that they are bipolar. So they feign, I don't have it, but the person has it. Assuming you don't have it does not change the result. But accepting what the result is to be able to manage the situation helps you. For instance, you're driving your automobile and you're running out of gas, and you feign you don't have empty tank. You're going to be stuck on the way. So that's the way this is. First of all, you are around them, you observe them, you observe the symptoms and all that. You observe this, the regular changes, the regular shift in their emotion. There is what you also call hypersexuality, by a bipolar patient. Hypersexuality means hyper demand of that. Yeah. I just told you, yes. Yes, like a nympho. So people could call them all manner of names. Imagine this person is married and all of a sudden it triggers. And to the point that if he doesn't get it, he could drift into masturbation. He could even switch off from going to work. So how do you handle such a change if you don't know the person? You need to understand this person. You need to know this person's history. You need to be willing, you need to be sure you love this person. And then you need to be supportive. You need to take the person, convince the person to see a medical practitioner. An expert will be able to diagnose them and tell them who they are. And when you know a problem, then you begin to get some education about it. Okay. There are some reliable sites on the internet that could actually give you one or two information and clue on how to go about it. Yeah. So you show them love, and then you observe the warning signals. If it is triggered by stress, if it's triggered by a crisis and all that, tension and all that. If it's triggered by crowd, there could be a lot of things that does that. So you try to position the person away from such places. But first of all, you need a medical attention, diagnosis. This does not mean that every depression is bipolar. No, it doesn't. It doesn't mean that every mood swing is also bipolar. No, it doesn't.
Okay.
Some people could be having mood swing because of what they've gone through in life, and they could not be able to get over. For instance, I knew a lady who she came out from a broken marriage, abandoned with 3 children or 4 children, and she happens to be the one managing, and the man does not care. In fact, the man has moved on into another relationship. And when she remembered most of the options she had on the table before she settled for this man, you know, she began to struggle with it. If she remembers it in the morning, the whole day is gone. It affects her productivity. It affects a whole lot of things. So it's not only on the women, also it's also on the men. So first of all, you'll be able to talk to the person. The treatment could not only be about medication, about, you know, going to see the doctor alone, you know, but you see, when the person comes to see the psychiatrist, and the observation and the treatment and the diagnosis, and then the treatment begin to progress, the changes come. It doesn't mean the person has to see the psychiatric every week and all that. No. And it doesn't mean the person is mad. Settle it. The person is not mad. This is not madness.
Okay.
So it could be talking to the person, showing the person love, being supportive, and showing genuine care. I'm not flying off the handle when the person, you know, there are some people that say, I can't take it. If you do this, if you give me, I give you. No, it's not so. You could actually lose the person.
You could actually lose the person.
Okay.
I also want to come in this angle where the moment they come into that mood, sometimes you hear them say certain things, and if you're not careful, just like you said, you need to love them. Love them doesn't mean just getting a caregiver. Love them means someone who is close in love to them. A little stroll, a little, what do you want me to do for you, to bring them to
that place of calmness.
A place of calmness. Now, many will say, but like that, one of the guys said, when this person vests like this, and you know, what do you think they should do? What would you suggest? Because, you know, I mentioned something like, but sorry, oh, madam, forgive me, oh, sorry. You know, when you start strolling, my love, it is well, you know, you try to like pamper and bring down whatever. From there, you'll be able to, you know, come into closeness with them and bring them to the reality that, okay, I'm with you. In the situation of what the man was trying to relate, how did they do such things on a road?
Okay, let me say this. I want you to understand one thing. Bipolar does not always last for hours. It could last for days, it could last for weeks. I just told you it's something that has to do with life. It could even stay with the person for life. Depending on how quick the person is able to get a medical attention, depending on how dedicated and how committed this person also takes his medication religiously. Because some people, we all have them in the house. You know, they could go to the hospital, they could get the medication, but once they come back, it's in the cupboard. They will never go back to it. So love also demands, and care, support demands that you'll be able to love. Oh, have you taken your medication? Then you have to take your medication. Sweetheart, you know you need to take it. You see, and this is where, this where family and values comes in. I mean, the family can give you undiluted love, unnegotiated love.
Very true.
Love you can never pay for.
Very true.
Unquantifiable love. That's one thing family does to us. I mean, I cannot see anybody who gets up and says, I don't love my dad, I don't love my mom. If you are a family and you have that kind of love, that bond that keeps a family, you will see the way your siblings or your relations explains your challenge. You will see empathy inside the explanation.
Very true.
You will see care. You will see support. Oh, that's my sister. She's not bad. She's just struggling with this and that and that. Oh, that's my love. It's not bad. It will be okay. Let's give it. So the person needs time. You need time. But when you see outsiders try to explain the same scenario, you know that man that is living in the other compound,
and it's always very difficult. Again, just like you said, some of them say she's a witch. Most of the Old
You didn't
women
hear
see
one of the
outside.
vox pop. One of the guys said, if he raise bottle like this, I fight by. If he smile, I smile.
No,
If
and-
it's anger,
So you
I'm
need
angry.
care,
Yeah,
you need care, you
killed,
need information, you need knowledge, you need care, you need some certain skills. Now you talked about caregiver. Let me say this again. Most people who go through health challenges, ailment or sickness, whether bipolar or anyone, does not need contractors always who are just there for the money they get.
Money.
No, and that's why it's important also when you're making your decision.
Yeah.
I said for better, for worse.
For worse.
It's not very beautiful, but it goes to explain, look, it might be the outcome might not be the way this person
This
expects.
person
You know?
expects
It could be the other way. Will you still be with this person?
That's it.
So today we see people jumping from one marriage to another marriage and giving one excuses. If you go to the West, you see, I saw somebody who has been in 4 marriages. Wait, what are you talking
Wow.
about, for God's sake? So in our society today, we are also beginning to understand that people could make marital decision for different reasons, and only to get into it and find out that we are totally different from each other, and there is no way we can achieve for purpose, staying with each other. We just have to separate so that you can see. Don't bring in how do I say it? Don't bring in offense into it.
Into it.
You can separate without fighting, without
Yes,
killing each
and
other.
Still
Yes,
friends.
but some
As
people
my
think
friends.
I have to end her life for me to show I was tricked into it. She tricked me with pregnancy and all that. No, Oga, no. What about the life of the child? So what I'm trying to say is that love and love and love. You have to be supportive. You have to be sincere. You have to give this person time. You have to actually spend time with the person and know when those things happen. You could actually take time off from work. You could actually also keeping the routine of the psychiatric, the appointment is also very, very helpful. It's
Okay,
very
so
important.
while we round up, I want you to quickly say those things that we shouldn't say to a bipolar person, whether partner, generally. What are those things? Maybe if they're in that mood swing, because sometimes say once ladies are on their cycle, there's always that mood swing. Don't say this, don't say this. So for a bipolar patient out there, what are those things that we shouldn't say to them? Those words we shouldn't speak to them, so that it doesn't trigger whatever it is that they are going through.
Unpleasant words.
Unpleasant words.
Now let me say this. For somebody might be going through bipolar and the trigger could be the physique. I just don't love myself. I am too fat. I've done everything to lose weight. I've been going to the gym and all that. And then you now come around and tell the person, no be this your fatness they cause harm. if you are not fat now, you understand? You don't say things that actually pushes the person back.
the person
So when I say unpleasant word, because it covers every
lot.
word that is not actually laced with love and care and support and empathy, please don't say it.
Don't say
because
it.
it could actually trigger the person to take. They are always suicidal. Let's understand it. And the thing is that you can actually be working with somebody who has bipolar in the office and you don't even know. Oh, they are go-getters. No. You see, there is another part of it. Extreme excitement. Yes, go-getters. That's still the same thing. I just told you two poles of the emotions. You understand? This person could be very excited. Very, very excited, unnecessarily without reasons. And you don't understand. So unpleasant words are not helpful. And then
Thank you very much. Your final words to our viewers as we round up the show this morning.
My pleasure. So my final words: if you have somebody who is going through this, you can actually be the savior that the person needs. Try to play your part. Show love, show support, show care. Don't drive the person to the point where the person has to take his or her life. Some people will actually get over it, though they experience it. It could be for life, but try to seek for help, medical help. That could be very wonderful. It is not madness. It is a mental disorder. It is a mental illness, but it's not madness. And they can be helped to live a normal life.
Yes, they can be helped to live a normal life.
They can be helped to live a normal life. Like I told you, even if you see yourself as not being worthy, treat yourself as being worthy, because being worthy goes a long way to help people who are also having this trait of bipolar. You can love them just like I guess I said, treat them well, try to be there for them, especially if you have them around you. Take cognizance of the partner you have. You cannot see everything about that partner while you're going through that relationship. But one thing is this: as soon as you notice it, as soon as you see signs, try as much as possible to work towards it. And I pray God will help us and keep us safe. Your home is a lot when it comes to people.
Okay, before we end the show, on behalf of Galaxy Television, Family and Values, and yes, the makers of Viju Milk Industries, we are presenting this to you.
Thank you very
for
much.
being a part
My
of Family
pleasure.
and Values
Thank
this
you.
morning.
Thank you. Wow,
Yes,
this
I
is
give you-
lovely.
I see that.
Thank you.
Yes.
No,
So
you don't need to advertise what is inside. It's okay. You're doing that to save me from the security guys at the door, so they don't begin to ask me for their own share of the money.
Okay, so before I finally let you go, please take your medications. Be diligent in taking your medications. Be kind to someone. Somebody is struggling something somewhere. Let love lead. As we end the show this morning, all we are saying is stay away from saying unpleasant words to people generally. Let love live. Thank you very, very much for being a part of Family and Values today. Tomorrow is Healthy Thursday, where we will be discussing colon cancer. Yes, I'm sure a lot of you don't know that there is colon cancer. Tomorrow we'll be bringing that conversation your way. My name is to remain Joy Abu. As we see you tomorrow, enjoy the Wednesday. Have a pleasant, wonderful day ahead. Thank you. Bye.